This is one of the most underrated reasons to join the Air Force. Y'all ever heard the allegory of the cave? It's basically a story about 3 men who had been tied up in a cave since birth. They had never seen the outside world. They had a fire behind them that burned constantly, and they were facing a cave wall. Tons of people and things were walking past this fire every day, and it would cast a shadow onto this cave wall. The men couldn't see what's behind them, so all they saw were the shadows. And over the years, they built this imaginary world of what these shadows were, and they were never right. Eventually, one of the men was set free from his chains, and he was able to escape the cave and go out into the real world. After he got out into the real world, he realized that none of the shadows he saw every day were actually what he thought they were. So with all this new information, he thought he would go back into the cave and share it with the other 2 men who were chained up. As he was trying to share this new information with them, they had been so brainwashed they thought he was crazy, and they basically told him to kick rocks, and they continued living their life in the chains. Y'all, this is so real to me because I was the dude in the cave. My world was so small, like everybody was doing the same stuff, and I'm sure some of y'all are probably doing the same stuff that we was doing 20 years ago. You was smoking weed, you had a dead-end job, and you partied all the time. Like that was life for me, and it was so normal that if anybody was doing something different, we kind of made fun of them because we was like, what you trying to do? Like, who are you trying to be? But eventually, after so many years, I started realizing like, maybe this isn't it. Maybe there's more to this world. So I went and talked to an Air Force recruiter, and I ended up joining the Air Force. Everybody was telling me, you're crazy. It's not gonna be what you think. Like, what are you doing? You're throwing your life away. But I was crazy enough to go through with it because the life that I had, it couldn't have been worse than that. So once I got away from that environment, I realized the world is way bigger than what I thought. There's just so much that my friend group wasn't doing before I joined. And there's a bunch of little me's out there the same way, stuck in the rut. And you gotta get out before it's too late. I had a little cousin about 10 years ago. He had turned 17. He was about to graduate high school. And I saw the path that he was on. So I talked to him. I was like, bro, you already know that if you continue on this path, your life is not gonna go good for you. And he's like, you know what, fam? I do know. I just don't know what to do. I say, bro, go talk to an Air Force recruiter and get away, because you got to get away from this environment before it's too late. This was in December, and he was like, all right, because I'm gonna go talk to a recruiter. Early January, he ended up getting in trouble with the law. He ended up getting a felony hanging out with the wrong people. And at that point, it was too late for him, and his life went the exact same way that everybody saw coming. And there's really nothing he can do about it now. So y'all gotta do something, because that small town living, it only really comes with like 3 options. You just gonna be doing drugs, you get in trouble, or you have babies. Lots of babies. Not to say anything wrong with having babies, you just wanna make sure you get your life right before you start having a lot of babies. Now some of y'all been with me since I started YouTube back in 2021, 2020, and some of y'all are brand new with, and y'all are still fighting with yourself to make this decision. I challenge y'all with the brand new year, 2024, reach out to a recruiter and see what it's gonna take to make this happen. I've been in the Air Force now for 17 years, and when I look back at my friend group, there's nobody living the lifestyle that I'm living right now. That's not a flex. I'm just pointing out the hard truth. And I don't want y'all to be 17 years from now looking at somebody who went off to the military and you thinking like, man, I should have done that. I recently did a video where I was comparing the Air Force benefits to a company like Google's, because a lot of people say Google has the best benefits. So I did a comparison to show y'all that the Air Force is not that far off. If you want to watch that video so you can try to get an idea of what the Air Force is, I got it on the screen right now. Like I always say, I hope this video brought value to you. Stay beautiful, stay classy, and until next time, check me out.